We had a several-hour hearing, and I still can't tell you who was responsible for the website. I can tell you it's not the president, it's not Kathleen Sebelius, it's not any of the people that you would think would be responsible for this train wreck. So what does a consumer do when they are let down by a government website?
And I think that's an important point, and certainly not the website. I mean, alone, we've all heard the stories of NSA spying and going through, what we're all looking at and on the web, but I haven't yet heard of any NSA employees being disciplined for that.
I got one even worse than that. How about the GSA? Do you remember the picture of the gentleman with the glass of wine in the hot tub?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what consequences came from that?
Yes, that was Congressman Trey Gowdy at today's Oversight Committee hearing. From the GSA guy drinking wine in the tub with two non-matching glasses, I must add, to the people who badly bungled healthcare.gov. Is anyone being held accountable? Congressman Gowdy joins us. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
What is it? How come nobody ever is held accountable for any of this stuff? We don't even know who they are.
Well, part of it's our fault in Congress. We have investigations, and then we'll move on. I wrote down 7. We'll go from NSA to GSA to IRS to Fast and Furious, and we probably should follow up better. But the real consequences come every other year in elections, and I just hope the voters, it's the tyranny of low expectations. I hope that their expectations for government are not so low that they really aren't happy that the website is finally working. I hope they still punish people because it wasn't working when it was supposed to be. So we need to raise our expectations, and Congress needs to have more perseverance when it comes to investigating.
Well, I'm always scandalized, and I know you, as you spend time in the courtroom too, is that you never find out, like, when you ask the question, well, who did it? Nobody knows. I'll have to get back to you. And then it was like you can't even figure out. You can't fix something if you can't even find out where the bad apple is that might be poisoning the rest of the project.
We're going through that with the IRS right now. The IRS targeting scandal that was so big several months ago. We're having a really hard time identifying where the idea came from, who, if anyone's ever going to be responsible for it. Look at the website. Kathleen Sebelius still has her job.
Well, what could, okay, let's say that President Obama said hit the road to her. What would we get out of it? What would be the advantage?
I think the advantage would be this. Your viewers at home would say, well, you know what? It would happen to me. It should happen to her, too. Maybe we can slowly start building something that's even harder to repair than a website, which is trust. Because my fear is that people have just given up. Their expectations are so low. This website, lay aside the fact that it was late, almost $800 million for something.
But nobody cares. Nobody, I mean, that's nothing. Nobody cares about $800 million. Even the media doesn't. They say, well, that's chump change. It's not $1 billion.
Well, then we're not going to make it as a republic if we do not have higher expectations of the people we put in positions of leadership, starting with me, but also other cabinet level officials. I just think it's a sacred trust to be given a chance to serve in a position of power, and to abuse it by not bringing a product in on time or bringing it in over budget, or worse yet, forget about the broken website. How about the broken promise? What are the consequences going to be for that, if any, come next November?
Well, you know what? We've got to do something about the way contracts are given out. I mean, who's in charge of the money? Who's signing the checks? Who's okaying these projects? I mean, spending all this money on this website, it's a bum website. It's just insane. And now we're paying them to fix it. I mean, there's no quality control. I mean, somebody should be held accountable, or at least so we stop spending our money like this on stupid projects.
And it's not just this website. The Department of Defense spent $1 billion on a website that after 10 years they concluded did not work. They called it a disaster. There's no accountability for this. In the private sector, this healthcare.gov would cost about $50 million. That is less than 1/10 of what your viewers paid for this website that doesn't work.
Well, so how do you stop it happening from tomorrow on a new contract?
Better bidding, stop
but
rewarding.
But they don't care. They just
stop
like sign it
rewarding
off.
Political donors. There are a number of remedies Congress has at its disposal. We had a hearing on some of them yesterday. But the ultimate remedy, I think, Greta, is elections. And my fear is that we have come to expect so little from government that we're really not surprised that something doesn't work, and we're not surprised that it comes in over budget. If we don't get that fixed, forget about the website. If we don't fix the trust, we're not going to make it as a republic.
Congressman, always nice to see you.
Yes, ma'am. You too.
And coming up, Mayor Rudy Giuliani about the new numbers just released showing what you think about the United States' standing in the world. Are you more impressed or less? Well, you'll find out. That's next. And you can hash it out with us. Who do you think should be held accountable for the disastrous Obamacare rollout? Tweet or post on Facebook right now using #Greta.